If you try to reverse the flow of time by moving backward along a straight, linear path, the system shatters into fragments. Attempting to travel linearly backward through the fourth dimension creates immediate paradoxes. It directly violates causality, the strictly enforced law of physics dictating that a cause must precede its effect. To survive temporal displacement, we have to stop treating time travel as a paradox-inducing fantasy and approach it as a rigid systems engineering problem. This schematic represents a theoretical blueprint for exactly that, the five-pillar integrated time navigation system. By integrating string theory, general relativity, and quantum mechanics, it bypasses physical destruction. Its foundational rule is asymmetry. Forward and reverse travel cannot rely on the same physical mechanisms. A scientifically grounded time machine must abandon the concept of linear temporal transit entirely if the traveler is going to survive the laws of physics. The universe operates under strict speed limits and gravitational rules. Manipulating those rules gives us our first vector of movement. This brings us to Pillar 4 of our architecture, light-speed propulsion constraints. Traveling into the future is a mathematically solved problem. It relies on a proven mechanism of special relativity known as time dilation. This diagram illustrates the effect. Accelerating a mass to 99.9% of the speed of light alters how that object experiences time. The clock attached to the rapidly moving mass is ticking significantly slower than the stationary background clock. By maintaining this extreme discrepancy, the accelerating traveler effectively jumps centuries into the future. While the traveler experiences mere hours, the stationary universe outside their ship continues to age at its normal rate. But this mechanism carries a strict operational limit for our navigation system. Light-speed propulsion is strictly a forward-only engine. Pushing toward maximum velocity slows time down, but it cannot force time into reverse. To move backward without violating causality, the machine has to step outside the fourth dimension completely. We can throttle forward using raw speed, but traveling to the past requires leaving standard spacetime to construct a bridge. Leaving standard spacetime means entering a highly complex, nonlinear environment. This requires Pillar 1 of our framework, multidimensional folding. String theory and M-theory posit the existence of extra dimensions, up to 11 or 12, existing just outside our observable universe. Physicists refer to this higher dimensional space as the bulk. Look at this diagram. Instead of fighting causality in 4 dimensions, the machine bends the higher dimensions of the bulk. It folds spacetime upon itself so that 2 distant points touch, forming a hypergeometric tunnel. This fold creates a tesseract. The traveler steps directly from their point of origin to their destination. They do not traverse the centuries in between. The dimensional fold bypasses the intervening time entirely. Yet, creating this bridge introduces a catastrophic structural problem. Einstein's field equations dictate that this kind of wormhole is violently unstable. The geometry of the tunnel attempts to snap shut the microsecond it forms. A violently collapsing dimensional gateway would instantly crush any physical mass inside of it, atomizing the traveler mid-transit. Preventing this collapse requires Pillar 5, gravitational anchoring. The machine must generate a localized artificial gravity field. Mathematically, this functions identically to the mass of a micro-black hole. This extreme gravitational force acts as a physical anchor. It smooths out the dimensional folds and props the transit pathway open long enough for matter to pass through safely. Moving to the past relies on utilizing extreme gravity to force higher dimensions into a stable, traversable bridge. Stabilizing the internal tunnel resolves the physics of transit, but it ignores the celestial mechanics operating outside the machine. The Earth orbits the Sun at roughly 67,000 miles per hour, while the entire solar system hurtles through the galaxy. This animated model shows the spatial drift problem. Jumping backward in time to the exact same spatial coordinates would leave a traveler stranded in the vacuum of deep space. Temporal shifts are entirely useless unless they are uncoupled from spatial drift. The solution to planetary movement is Pillar 2, quantum temporal GPS. The macroscopic movements of planets must be tracked using the microscopic physics of quantum entanglement. In this diagram,
paired quantum particles maintain an unbroken link. By utilizing this entanglement, the machine calculates and locks onto the exact spatial coordinates of Earth in the target past or future timeline. This ensures the dimensional exit portal shifts dynamically to match planetary movement, keeping the traveler safely on the surface. There is one final operational hurdle. Integrating these systems introduces an overwhelming level of mathematical complexity. Manually balancing dimensional folding, microgravity fields, and quantum targeting simultaneously far exceeds human cognitive capacity. The system requires Pillar 3, artificial intelligence navigational systems. An onboard superintelligent AI acts as the pilot. It calculates variables and dynamically adjusts the machine's energy output millions of times per millisecond to prevent the temporal tunnel from collapsing. Survival during time travel relies heavily on AI processing and quantum positioning to anchor a volatile temporal jump to a physical, constantly moving reality. The theoretical architecture is now complete and fully integrated. The forward division of travel relies on time dilation to propel a traveler into the future. The reverse division relies on dimensional folding and gravitational anchoring to bridge a pathway to the past. And the entire framework is stabilized and precisely targeted by quantum GPS and AI navigation. This unified schematic displays 5 pillars operating in unison. Entanglement lines calculate spatial drift, an active AI data flow monitor balances the energy, and a centralized gravity well stabilizes the folded tesseract. This interplay between macro-scale relativity and micro-scale quantum mechanics provides a stable, navigable ecosystem. By treating time travel as an integrated systems engineering problem, we resolve the physics-breaking paradoxes of modern science fiction, leaving us with a rigorous blueprint for moving through time.